Hello and welcome to a very, very special episode of What Do You Call It podcast. I'm your host, GB. Today's guest is a screen and voice over actor. He played Jake Sommers in the 90s hit TV sitcom California Dreams. Honestly, Kid Me is currently marking out a little bit. Please welcome Jay Anthony Frank. Jay,
Hi there.
how you
Hey
doing, mate?
everybody.
How
How you
you
doing?
doing?
Good. How you doing?
Yeah, I'm all good, mate. I'm all good. Quite excited to do this interview, to be fair, and just the opportunity to speak to you, especially about California Dreams, one of my favorite shows growing up as a kid. But before
I'm
I
glad to
do
hear that.
touch on California Dreams, what I do want to talk about is not necessarily your on-screen work, is your voice acting work. And I'll kickstart
Yep.
the episode by discussing JC Denton. So,
Yeah.
a popular and iconic video game character in the Deus Ex games, which was voiced by you. So,
Right.
first of all, did you know much about the role when you were essentially assigned this character before taking it?
I did actually because it was new and it was new to everyone, but I did know because I was actually working on the video game in a quality assurance capacity. I was a quality assurance lead for the developer in Dallas and Austin, Texas. Um, yeah, so I was actually working on the game for months and months and months before the sound guy and the guy in charge of the uh, uh, recording all the voiceovers and stuff basically went out to get some drinks because we were working overtime. We're like, oh, let's go get some beers, and then we went out, and he's like, ah, man, he's like, we're having trouble casting this part. And hey, say this to me, say I'll rip out your head and shit down your neck. I'll rip off your head and shit down your neck in a gruff voice. And then so I said, all right, shit down your neck, or something like that. He's like, all right, we have this character, JC Denton in the game. And I was like, yeah. And he was like, yeah, we want you to voice it. I was like, oh, okay. So obviously I changed that a little bit, the voice. And then, yeah, we did that. And I think there was like 11,000 lines of dialogue for JC in the game. And then there was 14K total. I don't know, some obscene amount of dialogue to record. So it took us like I think 6 months. And so I would work during the day on the game as the quality assurance lead, and then at night, as soon as we finished, it was into the recording studio, and which was in the office, thankfully.
Yeah,
But yeah, it's right there, and then we'd work until the wee hours of the morning. So
that's madness. That's pretty cool to be fair. I didn't necessarily expect that. I thought, okay, yeah, went for the role, didn't know what to expect, but the fact that you're already involved in the game from a video
right.
gaming developing side, that's really interesting. Did you expect for it to be so culturally important for games in the future?
No, like I knew I was playing a pretty special game. Like I knew the game was cool, and I was like, "Oh, this is fun, and this is neat, and this is new, and it's they got a shooter mixed with RPG elements, mixed with this, mixed with blah blah blah, and choices matter." And um, but no, I had no idea how iconic the game would become, and how the fan base, how we'd still have a fan base for that show. I just did a Reddit Ask Me Anything a little while ago, and that took the better part of an evening. Um, and we still have people making mods for it. So I mean, it was released in what 2000, I think, 1999,
Yeah.
2000. And we still have people. They're still making mods, and there's still massive amounts of people playing. So it's a testament to a great game. And yep. So
That actually
um,
leads me to my next question then. So were you saying
yeah.
like people are still making mods for it? Would you want to be part of the new game if there was a chance that, okay, it's going to be coming out, in the next few years, we're going to do it. They give you a call. How are you answering that call?
Oh, I'd be like, well, let me think. No, yeah, of course, man. Yeah, I would definitely be. I would definitely reprise the role of JC. At the same time, JC is a little older. His voice is a little gruffer. It doesn't come out the same anymore. Like even when I, really try, but it gets close. It's just not exactly the same because I mean, what 30, 40, 35 years? I don't know, something 35 years I think has passed. So, yep. No,
Fair enough.
I'm completed on 25 years. Yes. So anyway, close enough.
I've got a question for you that came from
Yep.
not only a fan, but an actual good friend. His name is at D's underscore games, very popular gaming YouTuber. And he has asked, did you meet Warren Spector, who produced and directed the game, who's a big name in the industry?
Yeah, absolutely. I worked in the Dallas office. Warren was in the Austin office, and there was a period where I went out there for 2, 3 weeks or something like that, and just pretty much lived at the office where Warren was. So, very nice guy, very smart guy. Yeah, he created something absolutely special. So,
Nice. Thank you for your
yep.
question, mate. Appreciate it. I've actually got a
Yeah.
question from my older brother,
Okay.
and he's
Yeah.
so excited
Whoever.
about this
Yeah.
interview. So, what he
Okay.
wants to know is this is actually going to California Dreams now. So,
No
what he's
problem.
asked, what is your most memorable episode?
There's a couple. I'm going to say, you know what? The first and the last.
Yeah.
The first, because I walked onto that set and went, I mean, I was on the big lot, the NBC lot
Mm.
in Los Angeles. I had been working towards that for years, years and years, trying to get into some lot to work on something. Um, and and I got there and it was like, okay, here's the machinery. Here's how this all works. And now I'm part of that. I'm a cog in this machinery finally. Um, and then to actually do it and film the first show, it was mind blowing. Um, Needless to say, I had a after we finished filming the first episode, I had a lot to drink with some friends. But
Nice.
yeah, it was good. And then the last episode, and there was a couple of episodes in between. I think the one where Eddie Mecca plays my uncle, and he gets lung
Oh,
cancer,
when he
and
gets lung
it
cancer,
gets
yeah, from smoking.
Harley and the Marlboro Man. Yeah. There was a couple different ones. But then the last episode, between the song, really, 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 I don't want to say ripping off, but really taking on a Beatles quality. So glad I was there. So
Mm.
reminiscent of In My Life from the Beatles. Um, and so a great song. It was really was a good song, mixed with the emotion of knowing, okay, this is our last episode that we're filming. We were all emotional wrecks. I think we were all crying at some
Mm.
point or another. Definitely crying at the end of it. So yeah, the first and the last. Those would be the episodes that probably hit me the most, mixed with a couple in between. But yeah.
I'm glad you mentioned the Uncle episode because I think that's my brother's favorite episode.
Oh,
Um,
okay. Well, there you go. Yeah.
so he'll be very happy about that. And he just wants to know, can you play? I think you can, but I just want, if you can confirm to my brother, can you play the California Dreams theme song on guitar?
Can I play You know what? I don't even know that on the guitar. I'll learn it. I'll learn it, and
Oh my God, wow, shock. I thought you could, to be fair.
yeah, yeah. No, there's a few songs that I've messed around with, but for the most part, yeah, I just kind of zen out and improv stuff on my guitars, and but yeah, I never actually learned the California Dreams theme. But yeah, no, I'll learn it. I
Oh,
should.
mate,
That's crazy.
he'll
Anyway.
appreciate that. And last but not least, can you give him a shout out? This is his request. He's so excited about this interview. He loves the show. He loved it growing up. He randomly plays the theme song sometimes still in 2026. But just a quick shout out to Alex, if you can.
Alex, Anthony, Frankie here, man. Just want you to have a great 2026. Actually, I don't know how we're all going to have a great 2026. The world is going absolutely batshit insane right now. But let's hope it gets better, and I hope it's great for you. Whenever your birthday is, it's your happy birthday, Alex. Merry Christmas. The whole schlemazel. I'm going to learn the California Dreams theme song at your request. But yeah, I hope it's a great one for you. As you can see, this is where the magic does or does not happen. Who knows? Anyway, thanks for being a fan and thanks for having me on this. And yeah, all right, cheers.
Who's the best brother?
Oh, and thanks
So
out.
back to the interview. Do you know what I've got to learn, by the way, as an adult? That wasn't your singing voice. It was so good.
No, the main voice was not mine. But if you watch the episode, what was it? The one where Jake runs for principal of the school, or not principal, president of the school.
Yeah.
And he sings that Leather and Loose song. That is me on guitar and vocals.
Oh, okay, so that is actually you. So when you
That
come
is
into on the
me. And
motorbike
that's me
and
doing
then
it live. And that's live too. That was filmed with me doing it on the stage,
oh wow,
live, whereas everything else was pre-recorded. So there's a couple
yeah,
other times I sing and play guitar as well, but they're small little snippets here and there. But that one was definitely me, all live, all there at the moment while being filmed in front of the audience, and that was it.
that's pretty cool. Do you know what else I liked as well? It's so I'm telling a bit of a fanboy, but it was your midnight mic on the Dirty
It's Midnight Mike.
Dogs.
Yeah, yeah,
Yes.
yeah. It's Midnight Mike. I'm in my van and I'm on my, yeah. Anyway, yeah. You're only young once, so stay stout.
I love it. I love it. I will come back to California Dreams, but I want to talk about your guest spot, Married with Children, Christina Applegate
Yep,
and
yep,
Ed O'Neill. You're the pizza guy.
yep, yep.
Tell me about
Artie
that
the Pizza Boy
experience. How
from
was it?
Artie the Pizza Boy from Pizza by Jake. I went in and interviewed or auditioned for the part, and I was interviewing or auditioning for the casting director, and then I was called back in, and that was immediately to because it was a bit part, but the executive producers, I think Michael Way and Ron Leavitt were their names. They really wanted to make sure that whoever did parts could get laughs. So they were actually there. Usually, you don't really meet executive producers immediately, yeah, they were there. I went in, I sat down, said hello, and they started to do the read. I said the part, they cracked up laughing, and next thing I know, got a call said you're doing it. And then I went, and yeah, everybody was unbelievably nice. Al Bundy, Ed O'Neill, remarkably funny funny guy. And he pretty much just kind of ran his part. Like he'd get as far as I could see, he'd get the script and he'd get out there and he pretty much knew his in his head. He already knew his blocking, what he was going to do, and where he was going to go. And I think, if I remember correctly, yeah, he just kind of did things, and they were like, "Yep, that's pretty much what we were looking for." So all right, So no, it was a great time. It was a great time. So and I get to say, like, it's a story. People like, "Hey, what have you done?" Like, I got beat up by Al Bundy.
He does
So
slam. He don't gives you a good slam, doesn't he, at the door?
yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, not beat up, but yeah, I get hurt by Al Bundy. So yeah, that's
I
always
mean,
good.
people to
Although
say that, mate.
the scene that they used, the take that they used, well, I had a particularly dry bite. I think she had given me a crust, and it was a pizza that had been sitting there for a while. So I was trying to like chew it, and during the scene, I was talking, and I was trying to and I had this like wad of freaking like hard stale dough, pizza dough crust in my mouth, and I'm trying to do the whole scene, and that's the one they used. And you can see even at the end as I'm being pushed out, I'm like still like anyway. But yeah, it was fun. It was good.
It's
Oh, and I
awesome,
was
mate.
17 at the time. Yeah, I was like
Was
17
you?
at the time as well. Yeah.
Oh, bloody hell, mate. Just a teenager doing that. Like such a
Yep.
large audience and exposure for you as well. What actually made
Yep.
you become an actor, Jay, in the first place?
Um, well, I had left home a little earlier than most people, and I was working. So at that time, I was actually when I did Married with Children, I had been on my own for a while as well. And I was working, and it was just one of those things. It was like either I'm gonna act or do something else, and acting seemed to be the thing I wanted to do at the time. And so I just kind of worked towards that. So I would work nights. And at the time, I was a DJ MC in a karaoke bar, the first first karaoke bar with English songs in Los Angeles. We had I think a plethora of Japanese songs available, but yeah, we catered mostly to people who karaoke was a new thing, and wanted to sing English songs. Uh, so I was doing that at night, and then during the day I was auditioning, running back and forth all over Los Angeles. So um, from one end to the other, back and forth all day, doing auditions, and yeah, finally started landing some parts.
Nice, mate.
Excuse me.
Nice. That's right, mate. No worries. No problem.
Yeah.
So I do want to go back to California Dreams. Obviously, if you're watching this on YouTube and not listening to Spotify, you can see I'm like literally just smiling. Just the name, the show, the theme song. Yeah, it was cheesy, but honestly, it was so much fun. Just about friendship and you guys getting up to no good and you're scheming. What I want to know is which of the cast members did you get on with best out of the gang?
Uh, I don't know. We all had our moments for different things. Basically, you probably heard it said if you've watched other interviews with the other guys. We spent an inordinate amount of time in my dressing room with the Sega. Pl Okay.
Hey,
Oh, here we do another.
Sega bloke.
Oh my God. We yeah playing Mortal Kombat, which of course I kicked everybody's ass in. And I don't know if there was like one person I got on more with, but we just yeah we were like a big dysfunctional family. Like we butted heads. We were like brothers and sisters almost. So we'd butt heads. We'd make up and we have fun doing the part. And we're all good friends now. So as well. So yeah, I don't know. I don't really have a. I didn't really like click with one of them, and that person and I would run off all the time and
Yeah,
do
yeah.
stuff. Yeah, that didn't really happen. So, if usually if we went out and got up into got into some mischief, it'd be usually Michael and William and I.
Nice.
But and then Aaron obviously Aaron would join us later. When he joined us. So, yep.
On the screen, I thought you and Matt had some really good scenes. Brent, so, but unfortunately
Yeah, we
left in
did.
the second season. But I thought you two
Yeah,
had like
we
probably the
did.
best chemistry out of the guys.
Yeah, we did, and they really wanted to explore us with the explore our friendship with the whole Fonzie Richie Cunningham thing. And Brentley has talked about this publicly now, but yeah, he didn't like it, and he went and he kept asking for different things, and they didn't. So so they parted ways. He says he resented me then, doesn't now. I like Brentley. It is what it is. So yeah.
No, that's fair. I just enjoyed the scenes. I thought they could have done a bit more with you and Tiffany
Yep.
as a couple. I thought there was something there
Yep.
as well, but it was kind of stop and start a lot in the show. It was
Yep.
like 1 week you are, but one of your love interests was a young Fergie from
Yes.
Black Eyed
Yes. Stacey
Peas.
Ferguson.
That's
Yes.
mental. How was she then?
She was fantastic, lovely. She had been on. I think I'd run into her a few times previous to this. I remember her from even when I was a kid. She was on Kids Incorporated. So she had been a veteran in the business. So when she came on and played, I remembered her being Stacey Ferguson. Wasn't Fergie at the time.
Yeah,
This was a bit before that. And then uh, when she got really big in the Black Eyed Peas and when she did her solo album and all that, somebody would mention her and somebody inevitably at my I'd be barbecuing my house and say, "Hey, Jay kissed her on his show," and they'd be like, people would be like, "What?" We're like, yeah, well, it was like, it wasn't because she wanted to. It was because she was getting paid to as an actress. But still, it's a fun story as well. Beat up by Al Bundy, kissed Fergie,
living the dream, mate. Living the dream.
living the dream, exactly.
Looking back, and I know we talk about memorable episodes, and you've discussed how you got the role, but just looking back, like, did you realize how popular that you were? Jake Summers, the character, like you would be on teenagers' walls and the merchandise, and the fact that millions had watched you in America alone, like myself in the UK, like a lot of us waking up on Saturday morning and watching it, and then we'd be like, "This is so cool. This is what Americans are actually like."
Right, right. I didn't, I don't think it hit me until until we had gone on. I did some charity events and did some other events, and we had these like little mini Beatlesque moments where I had to run for my life from a couple thousand girls that were lined up. It wasn't like I definitely I'm not comparing my there's not the Beatles, but I'm just saying moments where you were like running because the
Yeah,
security wasn't good enough and they were coming after you and they had there was one mall. It was like somewhere in the Midwest. Security guard was one very older gentleman who I just looked up at and I was like, this is not he's not going to be able to handle anything if anything goes wrong. And then next thing I know, there was a crush. My table was getting pushed into my chest. It was just one of those little fold out plastic tables getting pushed into the chest. I kind of pushed it away, dove under the table, came out under the side of the table, jumped up on this, I think it was a fountain, and then ran around. And while that was happening, before I got up onto the fountain, I had an earring ripped out, hair ripped out, part of my shirt was ripped off, side scratches. And I basically ran around this fountain, which thankfully they had to get around the fountain in some other way. So I just kind of ran around the fountain on the top, jumped down and ran for my life, basically, is what I felt like. I really, yeah, anyway, I really don't know what would have happened, but found some, and in the malls here, they have well, malls everywhere, they have the little side, maintenance, uh, corridors. And I ducked down one of those, ducked into some kind of, maintenance closet or maintenance room, and just sat there for, I don't know, 20 minutes before I poked my head out and was like, and then finally somebody found me and whisked me off. It was quite scary. But at the same time, it was kind of exhilarating and it was like, wow, that's
Yeah,
crazy. And it happened a couple times. But yeah, it wasn't until like I couldn't at the time. This is way different now. Like nobody gives a shit now, but at the time, like even just going to Ralph's, the grocery store, was becoming kind of like, okay, this is getting kind of weird. So there were moments, and then there were times where it was funny. Like Michael and William and I would be like, well, we're the guys from California Dreams. We're walking into this place, and we'd walk
yeah.
in and be like, nobody gave a shit. Nobody cared whatsoever. Um, tell a good story, and this is Michael just messing around, but we've gone to Mardi Gras. Um, Me, Michael, William, and a friend of mine, and we went to Mardi Gras, and we after 5 days, which nobody needs 5 days at Mardi Gras, like, go for three. 5 was just
Mm.
overkill. We were just like, by the time we left, we were absolutely dead. But we get to the airport, and we're getting mobbed a little at the airport at our terminal while waiting for the plane. And all of a sudden, we just hear this, "Who here eats fat foods?" And we turn around, there's Richard Simmons walking into
Yeah,
terminal, and he's on the same plane because we had seen him filming at the Mardi Gras on Bourbon Street,
yeah.
and he's on the same plane. And he basically he walked in and said, "Who here eats fat foods?" And all of a sudden, nobody gave a shit about us. Nobody like they screamed and dropped everything they were doing, ran and mobbed him for a long time. We were just kind of like, oh, well, that's sobering.
Richard Simmons stole your spotlight.
He totally did. He was a nice guy. On the way into the plane, we all bought because uh, we bought the tickets ourselves. We bought like I think just coach tickets or whatever. And Richard Simmons, we're going through first class, and Richard Simmons sitting there, and Michael had said something to him like, "Hey, we're on a TV show, we're." And Richard Simmons said, "Oh, and that's why you're headed back to first class. I mean, back to coach." Um, and so we all kind of laughed, and yeah, it was a very very in your place moment in general for that. But yeah, let's do this for that.
Mate,
All right.
mate. I'm gonna
Okay.
do it as well. That's
Yeah.
brilliant, mate. Just a few more questions, Jay, and I'll let you enjoy the
Yep.
rest of your morning. Yes, at time recording,
I appreciate.
me
Yep.
and Jay on the different sides of the world. So,
Yep.
what I've got to ask is to sort of wrap up the California Dreams. When the cast from California Dreams reunited on the late night with Jimmy Fallon, and that was 15 years ago, 2010, was that the
Yep.
first time that you'd all been together since the show ended?
That was the first time I think all of us had been together since the show
Yeah,
ended. Not Some of them lived near each other and hung out still. I had already moved to Australia by that point. Like I'm in Australia now. This is my study in my house in Australia. But yeah, I had already moved to Australia. So yeah, that was the first time I'd seen them in a very long time. It was a good time. Jimmy Fallon was great as always. The Roots, just sitting there and miming to playing along with the Roots was fantastic. As you can see, we're not connected to anything. So I think the mics were on though. But so Brentley and Heidi were actually singing, and Jenny. Yeah. So
it was cool to see, man. The fans loved it. And Jimmy
yeah,
Fallon as well, just being a big fan, because he did it with Saved by the Bell first, didn't he? And then he
yeah,
did it with
yeah.
you guys. And then I was just like, this is awesome. Like, before we like Wikipedia and having Instagram and Twitter. And I was like, oh, cool. It's cool to see them all together. And they're all doing really well. Michael was quite funny in it, wasn't he? Sly. He was, he loved
Yeah,
it.
we found out he had called ahead But yeah, that was and worked out the little yeah. So,
Ah,
but
fair
yeah,
enough.
it was fun. And his little line where he's like, Paramount, Fox, Vivid, which that was funny as hell. So anyway,
It was good. And since then, you do California Dreams reunion shows and conventions, and you meet the fans. Fans, even like
yeah,
myself, fortunately, I don't have the opportunity because I'm here in the UK. But when there is an opportunity to meet one of the cast members, I mean, even yourself, it'd be great. But those fans that you have met at these reunion shows, how does it make you feel? The fact that they still cherish the California Dreams. There's still pages and fan pages and
yeah,
massive viewing figures on YouTube.
yeah, it's great. And I love meeting the fans. And what I really appreciate, and I've said this before, so you're not going to hear me say anything new about this, but I am gonna reiterate that what I really do appreciate about meeting the fans now is when they were fans and we were young and stupid and going, yeah, we're the California Dreams and we're cool. Yeah, it's nice to meet the fans and they're great. And big hug and everything, and they are screaming their heads off, and it was nuts. Now it's different. Like we actually sat and had conversations with them, and our relationship has matured. So
Yeah.
we actually sat and had conversations with them and talked with them. We had at the New York event, we had a VIP after party where pretty much everybody was a VIP. If you bought a ticket, it was like, yeah, come on in, and we finished and we had some drinks and hung out and did some dancing with the fans, and a lot of them, it became more of like they almost pretty much became friends and fans. So yeah, it's they've been through this journey with us, and this considering the journey was us just disappearing for what uh 25, almost, yeah, 25 years, and then or 20 something years, and then come out and doing a few reunion gigs and having people respond and wanting to come see them. It was great. And yeah, just our fan base is pretty awesome in general, so just happy to have them. And honestly, we got a pretty big fan base in the UK, so I'm like, I can't understand like why we're not getting invited out to the Comic Cons and stuff like that in the UK, because I mean we get so many. I get hit up by so many people in the UK. We're like, come out, and I remember getting massive amounts of fan mail from Europe, but particularly the UK back in the day. So yeah, if anybody's watching this, get us out. Yeah, get us out there.
I hope there is a convention out there that will bring in the California Dreams. That would be
Yeah.
so good. Like, who gives a shit about Doctor Who or Game of Thrones like cast? I don't care. California Dreams, make it happen. I'm
Well, I
sorry
mean,
for the Doctor Who fans.
if it's Amelia Clark, I definitely want to meet her. No, I'm kidding. It's yeah, no, no, I'm very, very happily married. No, Amelia Clark was great though as Daenerys Targaryen, but uh, anyway, yeah, no, I probably care a little bit more about the Game of Thrones cast than the California cast, but that's just because I'm one of the, I was there, so. But I hear you. I totally hear you, and I've heard other people say roughly the same thing. So.
Game of Thrones and California Dreams, but we'll have that.
All right,
Hopefully,
sweet, yeah, yeah.
Jay, I'll ask you one more question. But the California Dreams,
Sure.
speaking to you about that, honestly, just has really made my evening. Like recording this, it's been brilliant, and
My
just
pleasure. My pleasure.
they say never meet your heroes. Fuck that. Jake Summers, you, Jay, you're the man. So I just have to say that.
Oh, thank you.
Um,
Thank you.
so essentially, it's just going to switch off basically from the film and acting and film video games talk. And I just want to ask you, because you're currently on the other side of the world to me in
Yep.
Australia, what's your favorite thing about Australia? I don't really get the opportunity to speak to anyone sort of that lives there or a lot of Australians. So I'm going to take my opportunity and ask.
Um, it's a pretty laid back place for the most part. Um, the political climate's getting a little weird, but that's because America's getting pretty strange right now. But for the most part, the healthcare here is just mind blowing. Like I went from getting none to I can go to my doctor whenever I want. Whatever doctor I choose, I can go to any doctor I want, whenever I want. I just have, as long as it falls within his or her open appointments. Um, you know, I keep having people from the states keep telling me, oh, I've heard Australia is terrible and you wait for the, and I'm like, you don't, you, if it's like, if you're getting surgery that you don't really need, and you're getting it for free, yeah, they're probably going to put you on a couple month waiting list, a month or two long waiting list.
Yeah.
Um, but if it's something you need, you go in immediately and you get it, and that's it. And there's, that's just the way it is. I had surgery on my foot when I first moved out here, and uh, I'm hobbling out of the emergency room after getting the quick emergency surgery on my foot, and I walk up to the reception counter and I said, "All right, what do I owe?" And they were like, "You owe us going home. Sign this and go home and rest." And I was like, "No, no, I mean, like, what do I? Here's my credit card." And they were like, "Go. What are you talking? Go home. Go home. You don't owe anything." And I was like, "What?
Leave.
What the? This would have been like 32,000, $60,000 in the States, maybe more." And yeah, and that's, so that kind of blew my mind. Still does. The amount of, especially with my advancing age and healthcare issues, still not going broke by going to the doctor as much as I do, is absolutely freaking amazing to me. So yeah, that's one of the things. Um, uh, there's uh, there's a lot of stuff here. It's a good place. It's a good place to be right now. So the food, um, I'm I'm going to lean more towards the U.S. on the food. Um,
Fair play. Fair
I
play.
I don't mind the food here. Like the pizza, it's good. It's just when I want pizza, I want like New York. I want a New York slice. I want. There's specific things I want. And when I go to order a pizza here, it's Australian pizza. It's just different. And it's not for me. It's not as good as like a New York slice, but it's still good. I mean, obviously, I live here and I eat the food. And the first time I had maybe I'm doing a list of complaints. I think not even complaints, but just observations. The first time I ordered a burger here, it came with a slice of beets or beetroot, they call it here, on it. Um,
Yeah.
and that's very normal here. And I took a bite and I was like, nope. And I basically pulled that off.
In the
And
bin you go. Yep.
right, right. And I like beets, but I'm like I like them in a salad. I like them on, whatever. But on a burger, I was just like, that's really weird, man. One of the funny things was I went a funnier moment. I went to a barbecue and somebody had said something like, "Oh, you probably think we, you know, something about." No, I'm sorry. I moved here and somebody said something like, "Oh, we don't do shrimps on the Barbie." And I was like, "Oh, okay, all right, whatever." And then I went to a barbecue. And the first things I noticed, some people had some shrimps on a skewer and had them on the barbecue. I'm like, yeah, you guys do, but they call them prawns here. So, and I think you guys probably call them prawns as well in the UK.
Yeah, we got on prawns over here. Yeah.
Right. But yeah, it was just some funny stuff. But anyway, uh, but yeah, in general, it's a nice place to live for the moment. So
Awesome, man. I'm glad that you're happy, you're doing well, loving Australia, and you're able to connect with your fans as well, especially thanks to
yep.
like social media and these events. Jay, I'm
Right.
going to put an end to the interview. Honestly, thank you very much for your time. I know we've sort of had to rearrange a few times, but I'm so
Yeah,
happy
yeah. Sorry
that
about
we've
that.
got to do this, mate. Don't even say it. Sorry, honestly, it's been worth the wait, personally. Jenny
Awesome. Thank
smiling.
you.
Where can the fans find you on social media, mate?
J. Anthony, here, let me pull that up right now. That is Instagram, uh, Instagram.com/ J. Anthony Frankie, all one word /. You can find me on Facebook, on just put up J. Anthony Frankie. There is a, um, fan site, and then there's my personal one. Fan site's probably good. There's a California Dream sites are good. Definitely join the Instagram. The California Dream fan site on Facebook is awesome as well. That one, it's the one that has like 45K or 42K followers at the moment. Um, and yeah, and then if you can follow my personal one, if you invite me, I may or may not. It just depends on my mood on the day because it's my personal.
Yeah,
Every now
no, I
every now
get
and
that.
then some people get in, and I'm like, yeah, welcome to my world. All right, but it's private, and then I post stuff that's not private on it just for the people that follow me or whatever on it. And yeah, if you find me on social media, I'm usually receptive to saying hello for a second, and yeah, absolutely.
I got hello from you, and I got a response, and I got you on the podcast. So it's for
There,
awesome.
yeah, exactly. There you go. Yep.
You made
Testament.
my brother very
Testify.
happy.
Testify.
So
Yeah.
here we go. Midnight Mike says goodbye. But awesome
Right.
California Dreams. The theme song now is just going to be in my head. I'm not going to sing that to you. I don't want to ruin your day. But Jay, thank you very much for coming on, mate. It's been an absolute blast. I've had a great time. Like this video. Give Jay a follow. Subscribe to the channel. Give me a follow on my social media handles. They'll be in the description below as well. But for now, everyone, have a great weekend. Take
Have a
care.
great one. And thank you, George. Appreciate it, everybody. Cheers. Thank you.